Hi everybody, welcome to my very first episode of my brand new YouTube channel called Property with Leonard. On this channel I'll be discussing issues around property, finance and investments. Now please note that none of my videos constitutes as financial advice. If you are looking for financial advice, please go speak to an accredited and a registered financial advisor. Now many of you might know me from my other YouTube channel called Life with Leonard. I'm going to leave a link to my channel in the description below. Please go have a look at it, check it out, and you can thank me later. It's a motivational channel and I would really appreciate if you guys can subscribe to it, share, like the videos that you will find on that platform. Now I've been in the property industry since the early 2000s, and in my business we cover really all spheres of the property industry. Finances, selling, buying, mortgage applications. We do help and assist with compliance certificates, the whole transfer process, etc. Everything really under one umbrella. And I often get asked when people find out what I do for a living, is that how do I go about? How do I buy a property? How do I sell one? How do I invest in property? How can I create wealth through property? Property is a long-term investment, so you're not going to get all the answers from one video, and you have to follow me on this journey, and that's why I would encourage you to please subscribe, like and share this video, and let's embark on this together. It will be a very enriching experience for you, and it will give me the privilege to share all my knowledge with you all. Now, a lot of my peers in the industry, when they see this video, they're not going to be very happy, and I'll explain to you why. People normally pay a pretty penny for the information, and these information that I'm going to share with you, I've acquired over many years, lots of trials and errors. It cost me a lot. Well, I believe that it is in giving that you will be receiving. The more you help others, the more you'll eventually help yourself. And of course, if I have an opportunity to empower others, I will do that with the greatest of pleasure. And that is what this channel will be all about. To equip you, to help you to make informed decisions. And just to give you guys an idea, I've had clients coming to me to buy a house or a property that could have bought a house or a property 5 to 10 years ago. But because of this big stumbling block, this big wall in front of them, the unknown on the other side, they just never got to that point where they finally made that decision. And there are many of you guys who are most probably still on that side of the fence. The uncertainty scares us. It prevents you from taking that leap of faith, that first step. And I really hope that you can watch these videos in the comfort of your own home, in your own personal space, and it will help you, give you the information that you need to make that first initial move. And I'll leave all my details in the description below if you guys want to contact me, because like I said, I am still in the property business. About 90% of millionaires all over the world have become so through real estate. And even the ones who have not acquired their millions through real estate eventually end up investing in real estate. And real estate provides some of the highest returns, the greatest value. Real estate is one of those things you can't steal it, can't carry it away. And that's what makes it such a valuable and attractive proposition. And today we're going to start right at the beginning. And I'm going to share with you 5 basic, simple things that every first-time home buyer should know. And I'm going to keep it plain and simple. I'm going to do it in layman terms so that you can understand and you would be able to know what to do and obviously share it with other people as well. So that's going to be the goal of this channel, to keep it simple so that you can understand it and it can enrich and empower you to make that informed decision. So the first thing that you should do as a potential first-time home buyer is to do your research. You see, when we buy a phone or a TV or even a pair of running shoes, we do all the research. You go online, you check out the specs, you compare prices, etc. But I very often find in my business that some people just don't do the same when it comes to buying a property. And buying a property is arguably for many the biggest investment that you will ever make. So it should never be taken lightly. Now, any good agent would be able to help you with a comparative market analysis or CMA. And what that basically is, it gives you an idea what the property trends are in a specific area. Obviously, after you have decided on where you want to buy, you need to do your research. So the agent would be able to tell you what the average house prices are in the area, the size of the house, features of the homes, I'm talking about bedrooms, garages, etc., size of the plot, how long they are on the market, how active and how frequently houses are sold in that area. But you, as the potential buyer, remember the onus is not just on the agent. I mean, it's your house. You're going to live there and you're going to pay it for the next 20 to 30 years. It's a long-term commitment. It's your blood, your sweat, your money. So you have to do something from your side. And you can go online to search the area, see for yourself what the prices are going for. You have to have an idea of what's going on in the area where you potentially want to live in. Go drive around in the area and do this on different days and at different times. Go speak to the neighbors. Check if there's any WhatsApp groups or Facebook groups that people have in the area and go join them so that you can have a feel about what's going on. I mean, you're going to live there. It's going to be your place of residence. I know that we live in South Africa and that crime is a real problem, but it's always wise for you to make an informed decision and know what's going on. So my recommendation to you is go to the local police station. Check what the crime statistics are for the area, what types of crimes, etc. This will only help you to make that more informed decision. And also another thing that I want to share with you all. You know, if you have kids at school, check if there's a school in the area. I have found many a times that people don't do that. And as simple as it might seem, it really happens. And when it comes to school, there are so many things that you need to look out for. Firstly, do they offer schooling in the same language that your kids are currently being taught in? That's the one thing. Secondly, is there place in the school? Go speak to the principal. When it comes to your credit score, let me give you a brief explanation of what this credit score is. Now, your credit score will tell your potential credit providers what you look like, your payment records. It's like a track record to see if you are committed and if you pay on time, etc. There are a couple of websites. You can go to Kugo, you can go to ClearScore or TransUnion. I would recommend that you check your credit record first time 12 months before you intend on buying a property. And the reason I say 12 months, for if there is any issues, if you pick up anything, then you still have time to rectify it. And the second time I would say is maybe around about 3 months before you physically intend to buy. And you can check, and I'm sure by that time you would have fixed stuff that needed to be fixed, etc. I will do a detailed video on credit score, how to read it and how to understand it at a later stage. But that should be sufficient for now. So now that you know what your credit score is, you need to work out your affordability. And you can do this by going online. I think all the banks will have, on their websites, will have that facility. There's also apps that you can download, or you can phone a mortgage originator, which I would highly recommend. But nevertheless, if you should go online, you would fill in your income and your expenditure. And based on that calculator will work out how much you would qualify to buy a property for. But remember, that is not cast in stone. It's just like an overview to give you some sort of indication. Because when you eventually get to the point where you physically buy the property, the bank will do a full assessment on your income, your expenditure. They will really dissect that whole application. But for now, you just want to get an idea of what your affordability is. Now, my recommendation to you is when the bank kicks out that amount, let's say 2 million rand, that would be the maximum. That's what they always do. They give you the maximum which you would qualify for. So don't be a fool and to go out and go look for a house for that maximum. Because, you know, if it's 2 million rand, and say for argument's sake, that will cost you about, and this is just a thumbs up figure, please don't hold me to it. It will cost you about 15,000 rand per month to your down payments on a 2 million rand house, maybe based on the current interest rate. But you must also remember that we currently have the lowest interest rate in decades. So, and that can change very, very quickly. Your 15,000 rand per month down payment will most probably change to something like 20,000 plus per month. And you have to ask yourself, will I be able to afford that? And you also know if when the interest rate goes up, the cost of living goes up, everything else goes up. So will you be able to afford that? So my recommendation to you is, if the bank should say that you qualify for say 2 million rand, is for you to look for a house and commit yourself to look for a house between 20 and 30% less than that. But even before we get there, you should actually ask yourself, if you're buying it alone or with somebody, you have to sit down and you guys have to discuss, how much can we afford per month? What are we comfortable with spending every month on this property. Because remember, this is a 20 to 30 year commitment. And then from there, if you decide on 10,000, you're comfortable with 10,000 a month, I would still say go at least 20 to 30% less than that. At least you can buffer and you can really just resist the immediate impact that an increase in the interest rate will have on your household and on your finances. So that will be my advice to you. So think about that. Don't just go into it. When it comes to working out your affordability, you really need to sit and dissect and have a look honestly at your finances to make sure, because the last thing you want is for the bank to come and to repossess your house, or for you to completely have to adjust your lifestyle because of a 1% or 0.5% interest rate. But it can be prevented if you really do your homework and work out your affordability beforehand.